Hi, I'm Elise, this is Witch Way, and today I'll be taking you through part 3 of my witch lore reviews on the Charmed series. Seasons 5 and 6 aired from 2002 to 2004 and star Holly Marie Combs as Piper Halliwell, Alyssa Milano as Phoebe Halliwell, Rose McGowan as Paige Matthews, Brian Krause as Leo, and Drew Fuller as Chris. These seasons have the Charmed One's family growing with a new arrival who is taking over the title as the most powerful magic user of all time. Evil wants to sway this child to their side, and even witches from the future have to come back to ensure that that doesn't happen. One of the groups after this powerful baby is called the Order and is led by this guy, portrayed by Bruce Payne, who has also played magic user before in 2 Dungeons & Dragons movies and is the main antagonist in Warlock 3, Age of Innocence. I've just done a review on the Warlock trilogy, which you can go and check out. The Charmed Ones have vanquished their fair share of warlocks and demons in their home. When the Halliwell Manor is haunted by all of these spirits, the Charmed Ones call on a witch doctor to cleanse their home.
Let me guess. You're expecting someone with a bone through the nose and a shrunken head necklace, perhaps?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Witch doctor is the English term used to describe traditional healers of southern Africa. Among their skill sets was the ability to combat illnesses believed to have been caused by witchcraft. Sangoma is the Zulu term which describes these traditional healers, though each culture has their own terminology for the naming of those who specialize in different forms, such as herbalism or divination. We do see some divination practices in these seasons, especially in the episode The Eyes Have It, which focuses on a Romani family. We see the cliche crystal ball associated with fortune tellers, but also palmistry and even tea leaf reading, known as tasseomancy. But this Romani family has the power of the evil eye. Many cultures believe a purposeful look can bestow a curse, though perhaps not as obvious as is portrayed in the show. We also see a page from one of the Romani spellbooks, which actually depicts a passage from the Hermetical 6 principal keys, which I'm pretty sure has nothing to do with their practices. This family is also referred to as gypsies, but this term can be seen as a racial slur to Romani people. This episode opens on the fortune teller Madame Teresa, portrayed by Lorna Raver, more well known for her role as Mrs. Ganush in Drag Me to Hell. Another reoccurring witch appears in this series, Sonia Forte, who portrayed Cousin Susie in an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, also appears briefly in the series as an unnamed stereotypical fairy tale witch. Paige quotes the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz when defeating her.
Ding dong.
And another classic fairy tale character mimics the Wicked Witch of the West's death scene.
Oh, I'm melting! I'm melting!
This unlucky enchantress is actually the evil queen from Snow White. I've put together a video on the Witches of Snow White films, which you can go and check out. But this isn't the only fairy tale inspiration in these seasons. The first episode of season 5 is perhaps one of my favourite episodes, don't judge, where the Charmed Ones thwart a deal between a mermaid and a sea hag.
Excuse me. When you said a sea hag, did you mean like old woman hag or evil magic hag?
Sound familiar? Yes, this is based off The Little Mermaid, the fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. Perhaps I should do a video on the infamous sea witch next. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you would want to watch. Inspiration was also taken from Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, when the Headless Horseman menaces a magic school. Much like the Tim Burton adaptation of this story, the horseman here is controlled by a witch. When looking into this tale, there is another witch associated with the real-world town of Sleepy Hollow. Hulda of Bohemia was an outcast who died protecting her town around 1777. Only then did the townsfolk appreciate her. Further back in another part of America, 1692 to be exact, the Salem witch trials occurred, and again, this is referenced in the series.
They're a family of assassin witches who are very elite, very powerful, and who were born with a distinctive birthmark, symbolizing their rise from Salem's ashes.
Identified by a mark on their arm, possibly inspired by the witch's mark, thought to be a sign of identifying witches and their pact with the devil. Speaking of the devil, the actor Mark Sheppard, who portrays the King of Hell in the Supernatural series, not the actual devil, that's another guy, made his first appearance as a demon in the Charmed series. You can go and check out my Witches of Supernatural for more on that series. Supernatural was not around yet, but the Charmed ones did enjoy watching another early 2000s TV show. The witch Tabitha from Passions can be seen on their TV set. That show was so bad, but I admit I did love watching it. In this same episode, the Charmed ones mention a Wiccan Sabbath.
Do you guys think it's weird that the Aurora Borealis is happening the night before the Wiccan Festival of Lights?
I've been so busy planning for the baby, I forgot tomorrow's a Sabbath.
Yep, it's definitely a time of renewal and growth.
This one is referring to Imbolc, which welcomes in spring. This is also the time when they welcome in their new Halliwell. Piper's new role as mother gets exaggerated when the Charmed ones get godlike abilities, and she becomes the embodiment of Mother Nature. Phoebe becomes the goddess of love, and Paige the goddess of war. The three Charmed ones are also familiar with another famous witch trio.
Okay, so I've stopped at 5 herb shops, but I finally found some Eye of Newt. So if it's good enough for Shakespeare's witches, I think it'll help us put a serious dent in coal.
Of course, referring to one of the ingredients from the Song of the Witches in his play Macbeth. But Paige could have just gone to a local grocery store, as Eye of Newt is believed to have been the folk name for mustard seeds. You can go and check out a great episode of Uncle Bob's Magic Cabinet on what some of the other awful sounding ingredients could actually have been. Charmed Season 5 and 6 score for lore, a little bit of history, and the craft, and their abilities continue to grow, with Phoebe now also becoming an empath. But I'm starting to struggle to get through this series. I thought Season 4 and 5 were great, but I'm not enjoying Season 6 as much. Hopefully Season 7 and 8 can bring it home, so stay tuned for my part 4 and final Charmed Witch Lore review. Until the new series, that is. Let me know what you thought of this series, as well as any other recommendations for my Witch Lore reviews. You can follow me on my socials, linked below, for some additional content, but if you like what I do, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.